Guys ready?
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for meeting with us, Mr. Cuban. I know you're really busy, it's been a long day for you, so we'll try and make this as brief as possible. So I'd like to start off with saying that everyone has one, and everyone is linked to them in one form or another. And I'm talking about cell phones, exactly. You have yours out already. So if everyone wants to get those out, that's fine. And it's so much a part of our life that every single talk starts with put away your phones, put them on silent, and there's always one person who invariably forgets, goes off, it disrupts the flow. But I want you to get them out because this is key to everyone's life. Everyone is linked to them. You have Facebook, Twitter, your whole life is on these phones. And now everyone knows the legend of the indestructible Nokia, and the Finnish people like to toss them all over the place, but Americans tend to want to hold on to them far more. And so the mundane point I'm trying to reach here is that the smartphone is a metadata collection device. You can think of anything that you could want to do, your phone is linked to it in one form or another. So, more specifically, when you're at a sporting event, what do you do with your phone?
Okay, I get to be me for a minute. When I'm at a sporting event, I'm usually playing with something because I don't understand sports. So I'm killing time on my phone.
Exactly,
while
it's a distraction.
Everybody else is watching the game,
Yeah.
yes.
And so, most people can pick up a phone, like I said, and they can figure out your entire life just from that single device. It's kind of scary for some people, for other people it's whatever. Even with password protection, that's not necessarily safe, especially with the NSA. But in short, data is all around, and the key to being successful is this data allows people to anticipate, react, and develop products and services to consumers and earn a profit. It sounds so simple, and yet so many companies either don't invest in data analytics or worse, dismiss it as not even so worth of their time. So this presentation will demonstrate the importance of data analytics and illustrate how us from Cogent can help the Dallas Mavericks in their fan appreciation. So, Monica.
And while we're talking about, Mr. Cuban, while we're talking about cell phones, I want to give you a wireless industry failure, mega failure. Okay, so this is a failure to use data analytics. In 2013, T-Mobile changed the name of its wireless prepaid plan from no annual contract to monthly 4G. Well, they completely removed every reference to no annual contract from natural search or Google search and replaced it. They did this assuming that their customers were searching based on related terms like prepaid. The end result, and by the way, this was all against the warnings of their search engineer optimization expert or their data analytics champion. So the end result here was a 70% drop in profit over a quarter and a cleanup job that went into hundreds of thousands. Right, so that's a very telling number. What went wrong? I like to call it an inefficiency tax. That's a tax that a company pays when it makes decisions based on gut feeling or assumptions, as opposed to data analytics. So it seems simple, a simple change, to change search terms. However, it had devastating results, and it shows the power of data analytics. So there's some other seemingly small changes happening in the sports industry. Cell phones, the game, and the fans. The sports industry is taking a look at how fans are using their phones and what that experience is like.
And so we don't want the Dallas Mavericks and basketball fans in general to stay at home. We want them to come out, come to the AAC, be part of the whole game experience, support their team, and really create a fun atmosphere to watch the game, support the players, and really show off Dallas to the world, especially with the ever-increasing TV contracts that bring in millions of dollars of revenue. But what increasingly is happening is NBA owners are trying to figure out what makes the best fan experience. And so, but they disagree on the role that cell phones have to play in that. You have just recently published a blog post that's kind of taken off, talking about how they want to put fans don't want to go to a game and get their phones out, they want to put them away and have a reason to put them away rather than just default like your wife who just gets it out because she doesn't understand what's going on. And so what we need to find out is, should fans be encouraged to put away cell phones, or should they be stimulated to keep them out and have new and exciting things to interact with using their phones? So from your perspective as Mark Cuban, would you like Dallas Maverick fans and basketball fans in general, what would you say they should do with their phones?
Put them away.
You want to, fantastic. And this is how big data can help. They can highlight when fans use their phones, how they use their phones, and there's so many metrics that you can track, be it when people check in on Foursquare, when they post to Twitter, how they buy their tickets, when they order meals and services, and this is how data can help. And Monica will, sorry, Candice will go on
You're
from
good,
here.
Andrew. All right. And so the No Cell Phones marketing campaign is an effort to grow organically by enhancing the fan experience. With any type of growth comes growing pains or pain points. Sometimes the biggest pain point is not knowing what it is that you don't know. So you have a seemingly complete puzzle, not realizing that there are missing pieces. So, Mr. Cuban, what is it that you don't know?
Why people come to games, why some people choose to watch it on TV. I mean, what is it that makes somebody willing to, hand over the money to buy a ticket instead of sitting in front of their TV? And what is it that makes some people not willing to do the same thing?
So you're basically wanting to get to fans' motivations then,
Yes.
is that what it stands for?
Yes.
Sure. And so, like I said earlier, the point of this presentation is to highlight how data analytics can be the launchpad towards profitability and figuring out what fans want to do, how they want to interact with the game, and get the Mavericks on that path to profitability. And the key to that is being able to respond to the needs and wants of fans even before they themselves even know what it is they need or want. And so one of the best examples of this anticipatory philosophy is the technology giant Steve Jobs. He obviously is the owner of Apple, and it was him who really was able to force everything forward, even before people realized that they wanted to carry their entire music collection around in a small device. He anticipated it, he got the device going and marketed it. That led to the iPhone, to the iPad, and now you basically end up with everyone selling their soul to Apple. You have an iPhone, I have an iPhone. It's just one of those things that, but this is how data analytics help. Steve Jobs was able to figure out what people wanted before they wanted it, construct that device to meet that unmet need, and be able to build a brand and a philosophy around that entire concept. So, would you want basketball fans to sell their soul to the Mavericks or have a different identity? How do you kind of see the average Dallas Maverick fan?
Well, I want a piece of their soul, I'm not sure I have it, but that's the goal.
Sure, exactly, and this is how we at Coaching can help you with that. So it's the same with NBA fans. Just as they want to post #winning for their teams, so do the Mavericks front office want to say, come to you at the end of every quarter or every season and say, this is how much money we've been able to earn for the team that you can go towards paying the star contracts to attract the best players here, to continue this positive cycle of getting good players, to get more fans, to get more money, to get the best players, and so on. And so rather than letting those dollars literally walk away, we want to attract them to the AAC and into the hands of the Dallas Mavericks. And this is how data analytics, through these various metrics, can help you with that, because we can interpret them, develop the various data collection methods, and present you with various pathways that you can then choose to pursue. Oh, okay. So here's Joe. He's your average fan. Now, while looking at him, we need to ask ourselves, what is it that he needs? What do they want? How do they want it, no matter what that actually is? And how and where can it be delivered? And so, are these the sort of questions that you would like answered when you look at your average fan?
Yeah.
Sure, exactly. And as I've been reiterating over and over again, the answer is with big data, with data analytics, and it's so incredibly easy to access. I bet everyone in here has posted at least once to any social media while they've been sitting in this room. And because everyone does use their phones to put their life out there for popular consumption, there's so many ideas that we can have. And so most of the work has already been done with you. It's just a matter of getting all of that data into one place, figuring out the trends and figuring out how the Mavericks can then respond to those requests and maybe even start pushing fans in certain directions. And so there is no lack of interest in exploring or exploiting it. Just recently, Google Search came out with their top trends of 2013, and one of them was data analytics. So there's huge interest in this field. And so just as the quantity of data has risen, so the interest in trying to interpret it and exploit it has risen as well. And there's a famous pundit called Nate Silver. You may have heard of him. He runs the blog 538. He's a data analyst, and he predicted the most recent election. And he argues that big data has not yet been translated into the widespread economic gains that you would think would happen with access to all of this data. And so when you see the opportunities for economic growth, for human welfare growth, or even technological growth, some individuals and companies have been able to build on this, but it's seemingly not quite there for sports yet. And this is how the Mavericks can start to be leaders, just like the Oakland Athletics in baseball, to get to that point of using data in a constructive manner.
To avoid an inefficiency tax, we must maximize the knowledge in our data. So whether you're making a seemingly small change, like changing search terms, or if you're building the Oakland team, size matters and every change requires insight. I want to give you an example. Vivek Ranadive. This is a man that led his 12-year-old daughter's basketball team to the Nationals many years ago. You probably better know him as owner of the Sacramento Kings and a data analytics champion. Well, Ranadive in 2008 purchased the Sacramento Kings, and he digitally and socially transformed his team through data analytics. So today, Mr. Cuban, Andrew and I want to offer you a gift. We took your 2013 sales for food and beverages at the AAC, Dallas Mavs games, and I won't get into the dirty details here, but basically we showed that 37% of patrons would use a mobile device to order in-home delivery or in-the-office delivery of food and beverages. So by adding in some other factors, we showed that 20% would use a mobile device to order the corn chips and beer and hot dogs at the AAC if that option was available. Right, but here's the kicker. A 30% increase in profit is what you would see if you used cross-promotion of Dallas Mavericks products with that app. Right, that's a telling number, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've given you all these examples. From T-Mobile to Steve Jobs, we've talked about Oakland and Sacramento Kings, all involving data analytics. We know data analytics works. We've given you examples. However, how do we know that it works for you, works for the No Cell Phone Marketing Campaign? Well, to measure the success, we recommend strong key performance indicators. You currently have in other parts of your business strong key performance indicators. We recommend that you leverage those to form strong ones for the No Cell Phone Marketing Campaign. Here are some numbers. A 2013 Aberdeen study shows that 69% of leading executives use frequently applied, layered, clearly defined KPIs. Some additional numbers, 12% saw a year-over-year decrease in operating costs, while 27% saw a year-over-year increase in organic growth by using strong KPIs. So we've talked about data analytics, bringing in data analytics along with having a champion, a data analytics champion, such as the one I named from T-Mobile, and also bringing in solid KPIs all together, the Dallas Mavericks will be winning.
So this is how Cogent can help the Dallas Mavericks improve fan attendance, encourage fans to return, and increase the fans' positive experience so they want to come back and maybe bring a friend, a significant other, just generally make it a family experience. But it all starts with data. And so, as we've demonstrated, the data exists, but the challenge is capturing it, interpreting it, and applying it to your specific situation. And that's the key link in the interpretation. Cogent has years of experience and a significant client base that we continue to work with on an ongoing basis to improve company positions, to save companies from going into bankruptcy. And the simple point is that Cogent gets results. And so the starting point is where I began this presentation, with your cell phone. It's a gateway to your dreams, your desires, your goals, anything you want, including even maybe another NBA championship. And so, just like you can use it for the fans, you can also use it for your players and for your roster. We weren't able to really fully establish the Oakland story, but basically, they were able to take their player statistics and use those to create a roster that, despite not costing them that much, were able to get all the way to the World Series and put themselves in place to get a championship. And it's the same thing for the Mavericks as well. And so when you make data that is freely available and is just put out there for anyone to capture if they want to, then you just need to make it work for you. And then once you make it work for you, the positive results won't be far behind. And so basically what you just need to do is work with us. We have our details in the packet that we just gave you, so if anything sounds great to you, if you want to discuss this further, maybe get a couple of more concrete proposals, give us a call and we'll be glad to help you further. And check us out on the web. You'll see all of our current clients, and you'll be able to get some testimonials there. So do you have any other questions for us at this stage?
Sounds great.
Sure. So thank you so much for your time. We promised to be quick, and so we'll wrap it up there.
All right.